right, good morning. Thanks for getting morning ready with us here. It is Tuesday, June 3rd. I'm Caitlin Nuclo. We want to get right to meteorologist Joe Gilardi. Tell us about that big warm-up happening this week. Good morning, Joe. Big warm-up today, too, because it's so chilly out there and it's going to go up like 40 degrees.
Yeah, the dryness in the air when the dew points are lower, you can cool off like you are experiencing when you step outside this morning, that refreshing air, but you'll warm up very quickly as well. Well, eventually it's going to be not only hot, but humid, so it's going to be even warmer starts, especially as we get towards the end of the week. Thursday remains a first alert weather day, first 90-degree high of the year, coupled with very humid conditions. So, yeah, there's a low-end chance you get a heat-related illness if you don't take the necessary precautions, especially if you must be outside working in those conditions. We're not acclimated to it yet. All right, so yes, it is refreshing out there. We have some 40s still, like in Windsor Locks, 49, but it is the warm spot. Chester, 59 degrees. A little bit of light haze. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good out there. This is a live view from Hartford, and winds are calm, 51 there. Great weather for mowing, being outdoors, doing whatever. We're going to be warmer today as we've been giving you that first alert with bright sunshine, and those temperatures today, mid and upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Litchfield County in the low 80s, though. Hartford County, but still low humidity, so it's just feeling good, just slightly above that normal high that's in the upper 70s. And so right along the shoreline, you'll be held back by just a few degrees today. Most of us enjoying just beautiful weather, but change is ahead. Not only is it going to heat up and get muggy, but eventually showers and storms return to the forecast. I'll have more on that coming up a little bit later. Let's toss it over to Kate now with an update on traffic.
All right, thanks, Jill. Good morning, everyone. If you're just waking up with us here on your Tuesday here on The Wax, we do appreciate that. We had an earlier crash in Hartford that's just cleared, so some good news. Still dealing with a road closure, though, in Stratford. Route 113 closed between Access and Oak Bluff Road. So basically, that's the only issue that I'm following for you across the state. You can see here 84. This is on the eastbound side where we were dealing with an earlier crash. Still dealing with some delays as traffic is merging there onto 91 right as you're heading in towards the capital city. But a live look outside in Windsor, right on the Windsor Locks line by the Bradley Connector. Things are moving along nicely here in Meriden along 91 by the Route 15 connector. We had some construction set up from overnight. There'll be a lot of daytime work, as you can see here, still set up in New Britain as well along Route 9. That daytime construction is definitely abundant. Grab the sunglasses as you're heading out. Sun glare could be an issue. And again, residual delays heading into Hartford and 84 eastbound, about a 104-minute ride 95 southbound towards the George Washington Bridge. That's a quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, Kate, thank you. 7:03 now. And this morning, people are returning to a bus station in Hartford after police say someone was stabbed there last night. It happened at the CT Fast Track Sigourney Street station. Police say the victim is expected to survive. They're working right now to find out who stabbed them, and they say the suspect left the area before they got there. Well, happening now, the clock is ticking on local lawmakers as they need to pass a budget before the legislative session ends, which is tomorrow. Leaders in the House passed that budget late last night, and now it's in the hands of the Senate. Democrats say the budget makes investments into education and child care while covering a shortfall in Medicaid funding. But Republicans are arguing that the bill just costs too much. And we know energy rates have been a hot topic this legislative session, and today a bill to lower the cost of your electric bills moves forward to the House after it was passed by the state Senate. Roger Suzanen is your reporter at the Capitol. So, Roger, how could this new bill save us money this month?
Well, good morning. When you actually crunch those numbers, we're talking about pretty modest savings, probably about $20 a month or potentially less. So not a game changer, but lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say it's at least a step in the right direction, even if more needs to be done to curb our sky-high electric rates. Now, let me break down what this bill would do and how it could impact all of our energy rates. The legislation would slash the public benefits section of our electric bill by 10%, and it would also save customers another $100 million combined in annual cuts to delivery and transmission costs across Connecticut. State senators say that overall the proposal would trim hundreds of millions of dollars from our energy bills over the next 2 to 3 years, which lawmakers say is at least a good start.
I don't know when else this General Assembly has done anything that resulted in reductions of $850 million over 2 years.
We'll continue to advocate for even more savings and even more cuts to these taxes to consumers, but this is a good first step in the right direction.
Now, the bill already sailed easily through the state Senate, and today it goes to the House, where it's expected to also be approved, but we'll have to wait and see. Reporting outside the state capitol, I'm your reporter, Roger Suzanne, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, before we tell you about this next story, we do want to warn you that some of the video could be disturbing to watch. In East Hartford, an investigation is underway right now into how an alleged dine and dash ended with a teenager dead. Police say he shot himself in the leg. Your reporter, Marcy Jones, is breaking down the newly released body camera footage and what we're learning this morning.
Good morning. Well, the goal with body camera footage is always to aid in an investigation and hopefully find some answers. However, in this case, it seems that the footage is raising even more questions.
There's a shot fired. I think he shot himself in his leg.
According to East Hartford police, around 5 Sunday morning, an officer was called to the AAA diner for a dine and dash complaint. While there, the officer saw a handful of individuals accused of leaving the diner without paying their bill get into an Uber. The officer then stops the vehicle at the intersection of Main and Orchard Streets. After a brief but tense exchange, a 17-year-old male from Hartford runs away from the officer. You can see the officer chase him down and then lose sight of him. Then the officer says he heard a gunshot and says this.
There's a shot fired. I think he shot himself in his leg.
The teen, who has not yet publicly been identified, was rushed to the hospital but did not survive emergency surgery. Police say that the firearm stolen out of South Windsor was found next to him. If you'd like to see the video in its entirety, head on over to our website where we put that up for you to do so. Your reporter in studio, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, new this morning, we're learning that engine problems likely played a role in a plane crashing into the Long Island Sound. That's according to a preliminary report from the Federal Aviation Administration. The plane had a pilot and a teenage daughter on site, and they spent about a half hour in the water before being rescued. An update for you this morning here. Police releasing some new information as they investigate an attack on people supporting Israeli hostages in Colorado. Police now say 12 people were hurt. Originally, they said 8 people were hurt. Police also say the suspect was in the U.S. illegally. He's from Egypt, and they tell us the suspect used Molotov cocktails, threw them into the crowd because he was unable to buy a gun. Right now, 2 men are recovering after police say they stabbed each other during a fight in New Haven yesterday afternoon. This happened near Lloyd and Exchange Streets. Both are charged with assault and being held in jail on a $40,000 bond. Well, this morning, the Cromwell mayor is asking state leaders to push back against claims that the district violated federal civil rights laws. The claims stem from a 2017 case involving a member of the girls' track team and whether the school broke the law by allowing a transgender athlete to compete on teams that align with their gender identity. The mayor says the district could lose $1 million in federal funding and says the federal government is unfairly targeting transgender students. Well, happening now, the fire department in East Putnam is using some new technology to keep you safe during emergencies. They are one of the first departments in the state to offer the send alerts right to your phone or even to the touchscreen in your car. It lets you know when fire trucks are out on the road so you can slow down and move over, and that can keep first responders safer. Well, it's Pride Month, and today Waterbury is honoring their LGBTQIA+ Mayor of the Day. Lynn DeSenza will be sworn in as mayor this morning at Waterbury City Hall.
Well, good morning, everyone. We are tracking refreshing air as of right now. Look at the numbers. We still have some 40s, so it feels good out there, all because the air is dry. Dew points are generally in the 40s, so that means a good feeling air is still with us right now. It's going to be warmer today than it was yesterday. We talked about the first alerting you to the warming trend and it getting increasingly humid and muggy out there. But Windsor Locks, hey, we got full sunshine, a little bit of haze out there, upper 70s to near 80 degrees, mid 70s in New Haven with lots of sunshine. Here's a look at the highs, though, across our state. So looking beautiful out there. We're topping off slightly above average today. But as we mentioned, it's just a beautiful, cool start. Here we go, though. Muggier, warmer. It peaks on Thursday, which is a first alert weather day, calling for highs in the low 90s, feeling a little hotter than that. Then the pattern becomes more unsettled. So what does that mean? Higher chances for rain and storms. Yes, it could impact part of the weekend. I'll get into details regarding that coming up in the next 5 minutes. Caitlin?